Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Man, I just finished watching the Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It's actually replaying right now on ESPN. But that fight tomorrow is gonna be good. It's gonna be a good ass fight tomorrow. Who you guys got? Basically, you have I feel like it's like kind of what a lot of people are saying. It's you're looking at the young powerful puncher. I mean, that's his. Teofimo Lopez's power is the real deal, man. He hits hard. He's a big boy too. He's a real thick dude. He really winds up on that left hook. I notice a lot on the countdown shows and stuff. He really kind of like really turns like his whole body into it. I don't know that like I can't say that I like how low he keeps his hands though, especially for someone like Lomachenko. I don't know about that. Keeps his hands down low a lot. Do you guys see that too? I feel like I was watching the Magdaleno fight and I can't remember Tahiti or something. I don't remember the guy's name, but man, I don't know about keeping your hands down that low, especially when you're like in front of Lomachenko, man. That's rough. I don't know if that's the right call there. Lomachenko is just incredible, man. He's just dazzling. Like his footwork is incredible. Something I heard in the Blood, Sweat, and Tears that got me thinking was I wonder what, because Teofimo said something about like maybe you're not going to be used to this or something like that, like not used to something, that he's going to like do something different that he normally doesn't do. I don't know if that means I don't know. Who knows what that means? I don't know. Why would you change much from what got you there? You know what I mean? I feel like Teofimo's really relying on his power, right? Like it's. I feel like his dad too. I feel like his dad is very much like once you feel this, it's going to be different. Like I don't know. Lomachenko had what 395 amateur fights or something like that. I mean, guys hit hard. Like guys hit hard everywhere. You know what I mean? Like kind of like Israel Adesanya was saying, like everybody hits hard. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who do you guys have tomorrow? I'm hyped to have like a big fight back. I'm hyped that it's like the best fight in the best. I mean, at lightweight, Mikey Garcia is not there anymore. That's pretty much. I mean, these are the best fight in the best. And Tank is going to be at 130, maybe. I guess we'll see. And he's fighting for the 135 belt as well. He is obviously like the next great fighter, kind of in and around the lightweight area, right? But I mean, as far as lightweight right now, these are the guys. Thank God we're getting a mega fight. It's been obviously forever since we've had a mega fight. I can't really say there's been, well, obviously other than Wilder Fury, right? That was in February. That was a mega fight, but I mean, shit, that was in February. That was what, 8 months ago. Damn, that was 8 months ago. Damn, but I'm hyped. That's going to be who do you guys got? I feel like most people, at least that I've spoken to, actually I talked to a friend today who told me that they're going Teo Lopez. So we'll see. It's not a bad pick. I mean, a lot of people, it is a mega fight for a reason. I want to say the odds, where were the odds? Have you guys seen the odds on this thing? Top Rank put it out, and I want to say it's even money for Lomachenko for decision. Here, I'll tell you right now. Here we go. So it's Lomachenko by decision is even money. Lopez by decision is 8-1. Lomachenko by KO is 2-1. Lopez by KO is 5-1, and the draw is 22-1. And then the over-under is 9 rounds. So we got will go 9 rounds or above 9 rounds will be minus 280. Won't go is 2-1. Wow. So you're getting better odds. Getting better odds on the won't go, I guess. Yeah, because that's 2-1. That should be minus 200. What we got here? I got Teo in 8. If he comes forward, he will wear him down. You know, if he comes forward, right, like that's what Salido did, and that got to Lomachenko. Salido obviously was a lot bigger at the time, at least. Obviously came in overweight. And just kind of bullied Lomachenko, just kind of out-professional Lomachenko. You know, hit him in the hips, hit him in the legs, you know, low-blowed him, stuff like that. But you're right, though. I mean, if he legit has no respect for I mean, it's easy to say you have no respect for somebody, right? But when you start getting tagged up by him, you start getting touched by him, you know, then, you know, things change a little bit. So when he says he doesn't respect Lomachenko, I mean, I'm sure he really doesn't. I'm sure that's true. But it's a lot different when you start getting punched in the mouth and hitting in the mouth. And shit, he might be tough enough to not give a shit about it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Want Teo to win. Yeah, we'll see. That's what it'll take. It really will, man. It really will take him to really just kind of like bulldoze his way into Lomachenko. I just tell you, I have an issue. I feel like I've been watching a lot of highlights recently, and watching Teofimo with his hands down. It's not the right, because he does like the, you know, like the Mayweather thing. That's not, I don't know, man. It's you can't do that against Lomachenko. I don't think you have to. I don't know. I mean, Salido didn't do that, right? Salido had his hands up and just kind of like bullied his way in. Salido's also just always had long arms, always kind of been able to kind of get at people because his durability and toughness. But you can't keep your hands down against Lomachenko like that, especially someone who, you know, is like on the side of you and then behind you, and then like there's like 3 of them in there. You're fighting like 3 of them in there. It feels like. So I don't know. It's, you know, that's I hope he does something different. Or maybe his power is just, you know, really like the real deal, and is really that devastating. You know what I mean? I mean, Diego Magdaleno, I've never seen him hurt like that before. He was like in bad shape in the Teofimo loss. He looked really bad. Not look really bad. He just got beat up. You know what I mean? Man, but Lomachenko I mean, I feel like Lomachenko's biggest struggles, other than Salido in his like second fight ever, are like his own issues, right? Like his he had the shoulder issue, and then he hurt his hand against somebody. Guys who really have the ability to be aggressive but try to box, prove a point, wind up being behind on the cards. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, I'm not saying you should try to box Lomachenko for sure. I mean, you're 100% right. He needs to come forward. He needs to try to wear him down, try to hit Lomachenko in the body, in the arms, rough him up. He needs to put his power on Lomachenko, I would say, to the body early, because you want Lomachenko to start feeling that. You want Lomachenko to start feeling the weight, to start, you know, Lomachenko's already been with, you know, with what is that, 3 lightweights already? With what is it, Luke Campbell, Linares. Who else has here, let's look at let me get his box rec real quick so we could all check it out together. Box rec Lomachenko. I'll share the screen with you guys real quick. Let's see. All right, So here we are. Dang, Lomachenko has a picture with the suit on there. That's dope. All right, so Luke Campbell's 135. Oh, that's right. Anthony Corolla was one. Oh, that's right. So he's had a good what, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's had 4 lightweights already. Pedraza wasn't. Wait, Super World. Oh no, that was lightweight. Yeah. So those are all lightweights. Obviously, Corolla didn't last too long. Pedraza was right after the shoulder surgery. And Campbell, so Campbell and Linares were both, as far as a rematch clause, I don't know, Samuel. That's a good question about it. Actually, no, I heard there wasn't a rematch clause. As far as I know, there isn't one. Where did I hear that? I heard that on one of the countdown shows, but I want to say, yeah, there is no rematch clause. So looking at Lomachenko's past opponents, right, especially the last few, the ones that kind of gave him trouble, obviously Linares dropped him, but Linares is a tall lightweight. So was Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell kind of gave him, some issues, but I feel like that's all height, like, because even and I want to say the last person, who was that? I believe it was a Japanese fighter who fought Teofimo. Who was that dude? Nakatani. Nakatani was tall too, and he kind of gave Lopez issues. But as far as like Lomachenko and as far as when he fought like Linares and when he fought Luke Campbell, I feel like those guys gave him trouble because of their height. Like Lomachenko's not a tall dude, and I feel like those guys gave him more trouble because of their height. Like, yeah, he definitely shouldn't go up to 140. His body frame could probably do okay, but now these guys are getting like really big, right? Like, I think Lomachenko probably stays at lightweight, but. And those are the guys that kind of gave Lomachenko some trouble, right? Those are the guys that you're kind of starting to be like, oh, okay, maybe he's human. Linares dropped him with the straight right hand. But you got to remember, Linares' right hand is like straight. It's like an arrow, like, and it's fast. And he brings it from like right here, and it's just boom. He just pops it right out. Linares is like boxing. Like his boxing acumen, like just like Linares has been hyped for a while because he looked so kind of like crisp and so like technically sound, and that right hand is one of the reasons why people are really big on Linares. Why Linares became the great fighter that he did. So it's not like super surprising that he dropped Lomachenko like that with that right hand. Lopez's right hand is more kind of a like he doesn't throw it straight like that. I feel like it kind of like bows back a little bit, kind of like a little bow and arrow a little bit. But it comes with like a lot of force. It comes with like thudding force. It's not like Linares is like classic, like pitch you on the button, boom, drop you type of thing. Lopez's right hand is like devastating. And with all kind of like the movements that Lomachenko does and how he how his footwork's all over the place. I mean, those looping punches might work if you catch him going in the right direction, but man, that I don't know. I just feel that you can't have your hands down that low. You can't keep your hands down that low against a guy like Lomachenko who, like his jab, I was watching the countdown, the blood, sweat, and tears, and Teo's dad was talking about, the jab isn't much, and he just kind of flicks it out. And true, he doesn't. It's not like the jab's like a winky right jab or like who had like a jab that like really hurt people. Like De La Hoya's jab was like good, right? Because he was like naturally left-handed. George Foreman's jab when he got older was kind of thudding and would help like set up other shots and things like that. That's basically what Lomachenko's jab does. He just kind of, it's like a range finder. It's kind of see where you're at. Because then he could like put everything else, together after that. So, damn, some of Lomachenko's workout videos are nuts. They're doing another blood, sweat, and tears on ESPN right now. Some of his stuff is great. But yeah, I feel like if he's going to be jabbing you like that, even if it's like a little pity pad jab, if it's in your face, I don't know. I don't know how you like what the plan is. Like, is he going to like bounce around it? Is he going to jab with him, or just start like Unadulterated Truth said, just be aggressive and just be in his face and just try to kind of like bully him. That's what I think you're gonna have to do. But man, it's gonna be fun to watch. I think I'm gonna do a live watch show with you guys tomorrow, so we could all kick it, maybe have a beer or something, and just chill. I'll invite some people. See if I can get some people on the stream with me to just comment on it and watch the fight together. See if I could, I'll talk to a couple people, see who I could get on. So basically, we got a lot of people wanting Teofimo. Are you guys picking Teofimo though, or you guys just want Teofimo? Man, it's good to have big boxing back though. I'm hyped to have big boxing back. I feel like obviously I'd love to be in Vegas and be covering this, or this would probably be at Madison Square Garden. I think that's where it was supposed to be originally. But man, it's good to have big boxing back. I got a lot of things kind of in the pipeline for you guys. I know I haven't been putting up much. I'm trying to do all the live stuff that's available to us as far as like digitally, like all the press conference. If there is a post-fight press conference, I will have that on the channel. I'll have that on my live watch party. So peep that out. But yeah, guys, hope you guys are hyped about the fight as much as I am. I'll start the live stream tomorrow at some point. What time does the fight start? I think 4:30. Oh, there we go. So yeah, it starts 4:30 our time. So yeah, I'll probably just start at 4:30 and just start watching the fights with you guys, and we could all kick it and watch the fights. But I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys for coming on. I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. It's gonna be a good ass fight. It's gonna be a good ass fight. I'm excited Lomachenko is like an incredible talent, right? So you mentioned Izzy. I think guys like Izzy and Loma have a hard time with aggression. Yeah, they do because there's like an artistry to what they do, right? And so it's just hard for anybody really, like to deal with a guy who's tough enough to withstand what you're giving them, and it's hard for like, I mean, any fighter really, but it's hard for a fighter to, especially like a stylistic fighter like that, to kind of like they need space for well, Izzy, I guess they're kind of different in the sense that like Adesanya needs space because he's so long. He wants to use his kicks. He has fast kicks too. His kicks were coming out crazy against Paulo Acosta. Like he was like punches, like with that speed. You know what I mean? With that crisp, like snap, snap, snap. So he definitely needs room for what he does. Lomachenko can work on the inside. Obviously, like he's kind of dancing around people when he's working anyway. But Salido was just a different monster. Like honestly, Salido at that time with Lomachenko only having 2 professional fights was just a bad style matchup for Lomachenko. Like he didn't, and then I'm telling you, just out-pro'd him. Like he hit him in the legs, had a low blow to him, like just roughed him up. Like used his head in there. Like Lomachenko's used to kind of refs. He's just the amateur style where refs take more control over the fight. Stuff like that. So I don't know, like say that same prime Salido, like I don't see that Salido doing the same thing to Lomachenko now, Yo, what's up, Sheldon? Salute. Let's see. Lomachenko was called the Ali of his era by Abrams. I know. Aram. Yeah. He did say that. I don't know. I mean, it's true. He did say that. You know, as far as like talent, like supreme, like you know, I get what he means as far as like a talent that we haven't seen in a long time, right? So like Ali was like a talent at heavyweight that he had, you know, like not lightweight speed, but he had like phenomenal speed for a heavyweight. His footwork was phenomenal. It was all stuff that you hadn't seen for, you know, maybe prior to the generation before that, right? Was maybe Robinson. I mean, you could probably say Willie. You know, I haven't seen a whole lot of Willie Pep, but you know, from Willie Pep, I could see like the footwork that people are talking about and how his defensive prowess and stuff like that. So I think, you know, and Aram's the promoter, right? So he's gonna like hype, you know, the hell out of like his dudes. And when you say that, it you know, people remember that stuff. People are like, what? And then now they're interested. Now they want to see what it's about. You know what I mean? Acosta and Romero drove me crazy trying to counter against Izzy. Yeah, bro. That was, you're right. You can't fight these dudes like that. Like you have to kind of bully them. You have to be willing to bully them, or be extremely special at something, like kind of like the way Khabib is, like, and I guess you could say that's kind of like bullying, right? Like, but you have to be supremely special at making them fight your fight, and those guys have that talent. Those guys have that. They're supremely special at making you fight like their fight. So yeah, those you can't. You're not going to beat Izzy kind of trying to pick him apart unless you're just bigger than him, like a John Jones or something. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're like John Jones and you can pick someone apart from far away, you know, John Jones could do stuff like that. And John Jones is big enough to, you know, absorb the stuff back. So, I mean, in that case, it might work. You know what I'm saying? I see Loma finishing Lopez after frustrating him in the middle rounds. He may have a rough start though. Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know, we're really, once I think Lomachenko is going to want to feel Lopez's power a little bit. I think he might even kind of, you know, go in, put his hands up, kind of like let Teo kind of hit his arms, hit him a little bit, just to feel where he's at. Because Lomachenko, once Lomachenko's warmed up, you know, it's hard to stop that train. You know what I mean? Like once he's warmed up, he's in like his flow. Especially like you said, when if Lopez were to start getting frustrated, you know, that's you got problems. Because you can't get fresh. I mean, I was watching some of the mental stuff that he does when he like touches the light, and how they talk about like your eye movements get people tired, and it's true. Like there's even like a bar science on it, like certain lights that like kind of flicker make your eye muscles move and make you more tired and make you want to leave. So like they don't recommend those lights. I think it's like the fluorescent lights, like the tube ones. They make like your eyes tired, and then you kind of like, all right, cool, I'm tired, let me get out of here. And so the fact that he trains his eye, that's crazy. Like the fact that he trains his eye movement like that is such it really gives him like a mental edge advantage. Like people aren't doing, but people need to kind of start taking notes with Papachenko and some of like the mental things that he does, the mental preparation that he puts Lomachenko through, because they're on to something, man. That hand-eye coordination stuff, all that, like the juggling, he even does this crazy thing where he like throws 3 balls in the air and catches, no, it's 4. And so he like throws two and then leaves one in the air, has the other one, and then catches it, and that's crazy. That's like, but it's all hand-eye coordination because you're touching it, whatever, and then he does the drills where he hears the whistle and then he runs and he has to like grab the ball real quick. He punches that it's like that badminton thing. He punches that like a big old badminton thing, like just up in the air, like all that. It looks fun. Looks hella fun. But it's all like work. It's working his mind. It's working his eyes. It's all kind of like it all, and it all ends up in the fight. You see how fast his hand-eye coordination is. It's crazy. Even the fights that Willie Pep lost to Sandy Salinger was because Sandy. Yeah, no, you're right. It is the it's kind of like the way people would talk about like how you have to beat Floyd, right? Like Maidana had kind of the right idea, was just bulldoze him, and just kind of don't care about what's coming back at you. The problem is very hard to like really not care about what's coming back at you. Like when you're in the ring, it's all that stuff is easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people see that. A lot of people everyone's seen the Lomachenko fight, or I'm sorry, the Salido Lomachenko fight. Like people saw what Salido did, but it's a lot harder to actually do it. You know what I mean? It's a lot harder to force it's a lot harder to like actually make that happen. You just got to be tough enough. It's not a matter of just like not respecting the fighter beforehand, which obviously like Teofimo does. He definitely doesn't respect Lomachenko. But when you start getting tagged up, when you start getting hit in the mouth, maybe your mouth starts bleeding just from jabs. That can't happen. It's it might take more than kind of your corner telling you, oh, you got to go in, you got you got to be tough enough, and we'll see. Well, I mean, we haven't seen Lopez not be tough enough. I haven't seen him not be tough yet. Now, I haven't seen him have to be tough necessarily yet either. He hasn't really been in any drag out like fights, not that I can think of. I'm gonna put the earbuds in. All right, you guys still hear me? Let's see. Yeah, Loma and his dad are elevating the game. I agree, man. It's just a different. We're on a different level. Those guys. You guys still hear me? Still good? Yeah, all that stuff. I really think even when you look at Usyk is trained by Papachenko, and he's he's some of the stuff he does for being, he's a big dude. And his footwork, his hand speed and stuff like that is it's the, I don't know what happened. I asked I started asking fighters from the Ukraine and from Russia, and I was Khabib, all these guys, I'm like, what happened 10, 15 years ago that all these great fighters are coming out of that region? It's beautiful to see, because these guys are good, and they're, like you said, they're elevating the game. What do I think about Izzy's chest? I don't know. That was weird though, right? I saw it right away. I think everyone saw it right away. He was obviously in shape, so it wasn't like he just had man boobs just because he hadn't done his push-ups or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that was weird. That was strange. I know I saw on Ariel Haiwani's show that he said something about he was going to that he got it checked out and that he was waiting for the doctor to tell him or whatever. I don't know. That's weird. It was just weird. I don't know. I'm not into that. I don't know a whole lot about that stuff. I've heard people talk about the steroids or whatever. That's a sign of that or whatever. I don't know much. I don't know enough about that stuff to even speculate about it. I just thought it was weird, but at this level, especially with the UFC and they have USADA, right? Yeah, USADA. very difficult to do that. But it was strange though. It was very weird. Best chess in boxing. Hey, now what the heck? I don't know. That's a good one. We know who. Who is it? Let me know. I don't know. Yeah, that was a little strange. I will say, speaking of being that we're talking UFC and boxing, I am very happy that that Tank and Leo has moved off of the Khabib date, because even though Khabib was, I think the Khabib fight's still going to be like at noon or 2 p.m. or something like in the middle of the day for us. It's I mean, 2 pay-per-views. That's just, come on. That's and then it's, I mean, no one's doing anything for Halloween, or are we? I don't know. Are people doing stuff for Halloween this year? Yeah, best. Oh, you know what? Ebony Bridges, I would say, is probably best. You asked best chess in boxing. Ebony Bridges, for sure. I'd probably say that one. Ebony has a fight coming up on Matchroom pretty quick too. I'm gonna try to get Ebony back on the Win by KO show. I'm gonna start that back up again. I've been working on some other things. Is boxing after UFC tomorrow? I want to say they're running at the same time, but UFC is only on ESPN Plus. Here, I'll tell you right now. And I know that boxing has the ESPN show. So let's see. ESPN. Let's see where let's go to UFC, because they'll put what the I forgot to have boxing and MMA for a great fight weekend. Yeah, I mean this weekend's dope. The Brian Ortega versus the Korean Zombie is gonna be a great fight. All right, let's see here. ESPN. Yeah, so it's on ESPN Plus. It's on the Plus. Let's see. The UFC is on the Plus. And I want to say it starts. What time does this show start? Can't find it on here. Yeah, man, it's good having. Even, to be honest, even like when there's like tomorrow, I'll probably have like 2 screens up, because I love it, man. And you know, a lot of the time when with fights, there's like kind of dead air time, because if like Edgar Berlanga is a beast too. He's going to be on the undercard, and so he might, like, you know, shut the lights out early on somebody, and or the dude somebody. Sorry, no, just I don't know the guy's name is fighting, but Ortega versus a zombie. Oh man, I gotta go with my boy T City, man. You know, I'm a LA boy, so you know, maybe that's, you know, partially why. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, Brian Ortega's lost to arguably the greatest featherweight of all time in Max Holloway, which, yeah, you know, I still feel Aldo is the greatest featherweight of all time, but even though Max beat him twice, I know, but I feel like Aldo was, you know, a little past his prime at that point. But you know, it's an argument. But I mean, the fact that that's Ortega's only loss, you know, Ortega's a beast, man. Ortega was on, you know, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I talked to Brian prior to, or it was right after the Khabib Conor fight, and it was right before, obviously, his fight with Max. I think the second or third time it got postponed, because I think that got postponed a couple times. But Ortega went through a lot kind of during that time, because he was one of the alternates for Khabib or Conor. They told him, like, stay ready, because if something goes wrong with one of these guys, like he was going to get the call. And so he trained. Imagine you're training for. Imagine being an alternate for both of those guys. Like, that's completely different styles. Obviously, like, Brian's comfortable with himself on the ground and all that, but Khabib's just a different monster with that altogether. Connor's, all more of obviously a pure stand-up fighter, not a pure stand-up fighter, but his style is he wants to stand up. So Brian went through a lot kind of during that time leading up to the Max fight. So, I'm not making any excuses for Brian. Like Max is a beast and Max just beat him. But Brian has a lot left, and so I'm leaning more towards Brian. Yeah, ESPN, the channel isn't putting them both on, but the Plus has them both on at the same time. Yeah, they're just, I don't know, they're competing dates. I don't know. I don't know why they do that. Ortega's hits will be the difference. Yeah, his stand-up is really good. And I mean, I want to say he takes it on the ground. He's like, a shark. You know what I mean? He's a beast on the ground. So I think I think his jiu-jitsu will prevail because he's a beast, man. And he cut his hair too. That was kind of I wonder if I know he weighed in at 146. I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. I know he donated his hair to Locks of Love, so shout out to Brian Ortega. Big ups for that. That was dope. Brian Ortega surrounded by PED rumors. Really? I've never heard anything about that. I don't know about that. Where did that come from? I haven't heard anything about that. He doesn't have any boobs, so that's good, right? Korean Zombie is on fire right now. He is. Man, the dude hits hard too. Tough ass dude. I'm not discrediting him at all. I just, if you're gonna have me pick one of them. Yeah, okay, so the UFC starts at 4 on the Plus. Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from the Korean Zombie. He's a beast, and I know they have beef, and I think Brian slapped his translator or something. I don't know that whole story. I saw the little video on TMZ. That did kind of shock me because I feel like that's not Brian Ortega's character. So I feel like they must have said something, or Brian. I don't know, Brian or Brian. I don't know. I don't know how much Korean Brian speaks, but maybe he heard something. He was not feeling that. Yeah, Ortega's jiu-jitsu is gonna be the shit, man. Right, ground game. Yeah, I know what you mean. Let's see. What's with UFC fans versus boxing fans? Feels like they are stuck in the past. Oh, like the one, liking one and not liking the other or whatever. I don't know, man. I've always been a fan of both. So I've never really understood this is better than that, or this, I appreciate both. And I appreciate if you don't like it. I got boxing friends that are, I got a boxing friend of mine who always jokes around and says that what does he say? He says by big toe strangulation or manipulation or something like that. He always talks crap about a UFC because he doesn't, he's just not a fan of the jiu-jitsu and the ground game stuff. And I got, I got fans the other way that are, just the gloves are too big and just sometimes, and, I understand sometimes during the Floyd era, when, if you didn't appreciate what Floyd was doing, if you didn't appreciate the beauty of the boxing, the hitting, the not getting hit, the timing, the speed of if you just didn't appreciate, I get it. If you want to see a fight, if you're coming from watching a UFC fight and then you put on a Floyd fight, it's if you don't appreciate it, I could see where you'd be you'd be kind of turned off by it. And so, and then also it's hard to I love boxing, but it's hard to be a fan of boxing. If you don't love boxing, it's tough, man. Promoters not wanting to work together. We should, if boxing was a UFC, we would have seen Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence at least twice by now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like UFC puts who next man up. Who's the best? Who's the best person? You're up. Who's the next person after that? Who's the next available person after that? You're up. Like boxing, and the difference though is that boxing's like big matchups are more highly anticipated because of that. So like you know how DC and John Jones took forever to kind of make it, but it was a huge fight, and then you know, I think the rematch took a bunch of years because of John Jones and the failed drug tests and kind of all that stuff. And then that was a huge fight. So like, there's something to the anticipation of that boxing builds because of all the BS that we have to deal with promoters and things like that. But and just the beauty of boxing, I just love boxing, man. The beauty of boxing is you know. There's guys, you know, like in boxing, you get the 10 count, right? So, so you might clip somebody and then they get up and they, you know, like Lomachenko, for instance, like when Linares dropped Lomachenko, had that been a UFC fight, maybe Linares jumps on Lomachenko and then the fight's over, you know, but we saw what happened in boxing is that Lomachenko got up and just kind of proved his superior skill, you know? He's had 2 years out for no reason. USADA doesn't release information on failed drug tests. I still don't think that's true, but that is an interesting point that you bring up. Wasn't he injured though? Wasn't Brian Ortega injured? I believe. I thought he was. I grew up in Philly and loved boxing all my life. Started traveling to Brazil in 2001. Oh yeah, man. No, I went to Brazil for the Rio Olympics. So yeah, like it's we went to a couple of jiu-jitsu spots out there. It was dope. Brazil's beautiful, man. The women are beautiful. The food is good. There's no chicken in Brazil though. I mean, there is, but man, it's hard to find chicken in Brazil. It was hella hard because they're like their beef is just some of the best in the world. But yeah, no, man, I'm who's your favorite Philly fighter? Oh, speaking of Philly, you got Garcia against Spence? I agree, man. To keep up with the politics and follow boxing, you really have to love it. Yeah, it's you know, it's tough. It's hard to like try to like I always tell my friends like being a boxing fan, you have to create, or being a fight fan, really, you have to create other fight fans. And it's hard when you tell someone like, oh, well, Lomachenko is the best guy because he has 3 belts. And he's like, oh, there's not just one belt. And then one of the belts is like the super duper ultimate mega Tika champion of the WBC belt. And then they're saying that Devin Haney isn't the champion. It's the imagine trying to explain that to somebody who already is like on the fringes, who already is kind of like, that's rough, man. But thank God after this, I mean, well, you know, other than without, it's tough, man. I don't like what the WBC did to Devin Haney. Like, Devin Haney didn't even get to celebrate his championship in the ring. They like gave it to him afterwards. That's whack. Devin Haney is a dope ass fighter. I don't because Lomachenko has the franchise championship. Then he doesn't have to fight mandatories. And I guess Haney isn't a mandatory anyway because he has the championship. So who knows how that works? But the truth is, the winner tomorrow night is the best lightweight in the world. Like, period. That's it. I was ordering MMA tapes from all over the world since the 90s. Yeah, man. Remember going to the old, like your old corner, like, you know, Video Olympic or Video Time or whatever, like the old corner shop for the for your like when you go like to rent movies, and even like Blockbuster and on all that stuff and Hollywood Video. And then they had like the best was when they'd have like the old VHSs there, or even I remember going to like places like at the mall, like that whatever place at the mall had like the old videos and stuff, and the old like UFC VHSs used to be there for like 10, 12, $15, depending on if it was a good one. If it had like Tito Ortiz, it was usually one of the better ones, so you have to pay more. Yeah, being a hardcore boxing fan sucks. Always some BS. When Cepeda and Ivan fights happen, it reminds you why you love. Man, that is the truth, bro. That is the truth. When fights like that happen, you're like, see, this is that's the time when you're like, watch this. And that's how you get your friends into it. When you know a fight like that's coming up, that's when you get your friends into it. Like this fight tomorrow, like, to be honest, Lomachenko is such a supreme talent, and Teofimo Lopez has kind of garnered so much attention because of like his talk and his dad's talk and all that. That this is kind of like the fight. I mean, but the Cepeda Ivan fight was incredible. Like I don't think tomorrow's fight's gonna have like changing knockdowns like that. But that's the fight that you gotta like talk to your friends and be like, yo, watch this, because that's then those guys then they become fans because of stuff like that. I got Spence, but Danny stands a great chance because he counters between shots. His hook could catch Spence. I'm sorry. Danny Garcia is very underrated. Even among my boxing fan friends, like, I don't know, they just underrate Danny Garcia a lot for whatever reason. And when you watch like Danny Garcia, like when he fought Thurman started boxing Danny Garcia, because once Thurman kind of caught some of Danny Garcia's like power, and just I think also like once Thurman kind of started putting punches on Danny, and Danny wasn't reacting the way maybe most guys do to Thurman's power, Thurman's like, all right, like, well, I'm gonna box then and then make it a little easier for myself. Like people kind of forget that like Porter did beat Danny Garcia. I thought he did win, but it was close. Danny Garcia knocked out Amir Khan when he wasn't supposed to. Danny Garcia is a good fighter, man. A tough dude. He's a big guy. He's probably perfect at 147 pounds, but I wouldn't be like he wouldn't do terrible at 154. Like I think he could hold the weight okay at 154. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think Danny has a good shot in that fight. Earl, it's going to be really interesting to see how Earl fights Danny, because Earl fought Sean Porter like in his face, like, let's go. And just kind of doing like my boy boxing guru said it doesn't work. Oh, actually, this might be one that works. So you can't do what is it? You can't do like the triangle like logic. But let's see. Danny Garcia lost to Porter. Thurman beat Porter and beat Danny Garcia. Spence beat Porter. I guess I'm just trying to think if, just being that Thurman didn't fight Danny kind of like, toe to toe, so to speak, or whatever, kind of inside. I'm wondering if Earl will, because Earl fought Porter that way, and Thurman didn't fight Porter that way. Thurman kind of like tried boxing Porter as well. So it'd be interesting to see how Spence does it. That's a damn good fight, though. I can't wait for that fight. Who do you really think Top Rank want to win this weekend? Loma is the prize asset, pound for pound fighter. However, there's surely way more upside to Teo. That's a good question. That's a good question, man. I really, honestly, like, Bob's kind of like an OG in the sense that he kind of like, he understands, kind of like how Dana White says, he's like, a fight's a fight. Like, it's whatever happens, happens kind of a thing. I would think the loss by Lopez to Lomachenko is a lot kind of more understandable, a lot kind of, well, it's Lomachenko, like, and obviously Teofimo was going to move up because he's a big guy. He's been talking about like 135 has been he's not going to be there for much longer. Yeah, so I can see, but I don't know if Lopez beats Lomachenko, then Lopez talks a lot of shit. Like he's a young kid. Obviously, he hits hard, especially if he were to do something dramatic like knock out Lomachenko. Like and on ESPN on a Saturday night when it's free for everyone. That's huge promotion, man. I really think they're in a win-win situation because either way, it's explainable either way. You know what I mean? Like Lopez lost to Lomachenko. Oh yeah, Lomachenko's a monster. Blah. Of course he's one generational fighter. All that. Lopez moves on. He's so young. It's going to be a 16th fight, so it's not like, you know what I mean. There's a big tarnish to him or anything like that. And if Lopez beats Lomachenko's still, he could go down to 130 and just kind of be like, yeah, these guys were too big. I think they're good either way, really. Yeah, also it is OG. We're straight up bar fights. That's a little karate guy. Yeah, that's the truth, man. Those guys. Remember that one? I can't remember the name. I'm not as much of a historian on UFC. I remember that big like Samoan dude who got like kicked in the mouth by that skinny dude. That was like, oh crap! This is like real. This is like real. I'm more excited to see the Sanjay twins. Yeah, those kids, are they they sing, right? I think so. Easily they want Teo to win. Loma, for whatever reason, he's not a superstar. Teo can be. Could be. Let's see. Yeah, he can be. He still can be. He's getting a lot of press for this. Once people kind of see the fight, who knows, right? If Lopez wins, then all the better for that scenario. But but I don't know. Lomachenko, I feel is such a generational fighter. It's like he doesn't have the promo and all that stuff, but I don't know, man. Like some stuff you don't have to like. I don't know. Maybe for me, just because I love the game, like to me, you don't have to really hype up Lomachenko. Just not like that. Not like where he has to talk crap and all that. I feel like just watching him perform is like incredible, man. Yeah, Tank Abbott. Yeah, Tank Abbott. Tank Abbott's kind of thin now. Have you seen Tank Abbott recently? He's kind of skinny now. Naro Lopez in around 10. Oh, okay, tiene una calidad poder, pero está difícil. Yeah, it will be hard. It will be hard for sure. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna have to do a lot of pressure. He's gonna have to put a lot of pressure on Lomachenko, I feel like, and really, I feel like he really is gonna have to. Once the pressure starts, he's gonna have to start landing stuff on Lomachenko's body, on his arms, like make him feel the power, even if you're not catching him like right on the button. Like make him feel the power, because get him worried about something. You got to get him worried about something early. Used to be able to give nut shots in the UFC. No eye gouges or fish. Wasn't there 3 rules? It was like no eye gouges, no fish hooks. Was that it? I thought there was one more. Because headbutts were allowed, right? Yeah, headbutts were cool. I think everything. I thought there were 3 rules, but yeah, that's true. No eye gouges or no fish hooks. Man, that was. Those were some crazy days back in the UFC. How do you guys feel about small joint manipulation? But that's still part of the thing, part of it, isn't it? I guess that was part of it back then too, like no fingers and things like that. Yeah, man. That was fun stuff watching those back in the day. I remember like getting those with my pops back in the day. It was one of those things where I never really knew like when the fight happened. It was more just like, oh, had I seen that one yet? Like I wasn't like buying the paper. Like it took a little while to get to me buying the pay-per-views. You know what I mean? It was more just like buying the VHSs or renting the VHSs when I was like with my pops. I'm rooting for Loma, but you could tell But can you tell me a bigger fight in 2021 that Teo versus Ryan? If they both win by KO. I mean, Fury Wilder. Fury Joshua was a bigger fight. If you're talking about just in that division, to be honest, like I used to like doing stuff like that, like for fights that I really wanted, right? Like, but let's be honest, that for like what we were talking about earlier, boxing is not going to make, even if Teofimo wins. I just don't see boxing making Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez like next year. Probably won't be crowds. So there's 10 million gone, 7 to 10 million gone on gate, and you're talking about Bob Arum and Oscar De La Hoya doing business again. Like, not to say they haven't done business and they can do business together, but that fight needs to be like that. If that were to happen, right? If Lopez were to beat Lomachenko, even if he didn't. Oh shit, my light went out. Here, I'll be right back. Hold on. All right. Even if Lopez beat him, man, I just don't see boxing making it, unfortunately. I trust me when I say I wish I were wrong. I just don't think I'm wrong. Let's see. No sé, siempre que se me ocurre algo, nunca me primero al libro de Lomachenko, pero no gana tiempo. Se la li. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. The trash truck would be. Oh yeah, hell yeah. I mean, the trash truck. And luckily the trash truck will begin anyway, because all these guys, right? Like the 135-pound kind of like young gang is like fighting like in the next month or two, because we got Lomachenko Lopez, Tank Davis versus Leo on Halloween, and then December 5th is Ryan versus Luke Campbell, which is a good fight. So all these guys got Twitter fingers. All these guys are gonna like talk crap once, depending. Don't let anybody look bad. If anybody looks bad, it's gonna pop off as far as them all talking crap. The trash talk would be great. You got Rolando in the mix as well. Rolly didn't look that good this last time out. I want to say they're rematching that dude from Robert Garcia's gym. I can't remember the kid's name. What was that kid's name that fought Rolly last? A lot of people thought he won. Can't remember the kid's name, but I want to say I heard Leonard Elby saying that was going to be a rematch for sure. Man, it's going to be good. The trash talk is going to be good, and I guess that's another frustrating part, is like that you could tell these kids want to fight each other. You know what I mean? Like if it were up to Ryan and Lopez, hell yeah, they'd fight. They'd fight next year. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be good. The trash talk, like Tank's trash talk is cool. I think Lomachenko calls Tank the best fighter on Twitter. That's pretty funny. Lomachenko, for not speaking English, because it has some pretty good one-liners here and there. But yeah, we'll that's gonna be good. That's if that were to happen. When that happens, I think you're right as far as them actually, them probably coming and them probably coming to terms eventually. You know what I mean? Hey, what is the best trash talking moments you've been around between fighters during the fight week? Ooh, good question. Who has been the best at trash talking? Broner's funny, but Broner had some some kind of like he had some like, you know, Broner's like a comedian, right? And like so he was talking a lot of shit to Pacquiao and saying a lot of like Asian jokes. Like he said something about like Pacquiao couldn't drive or something. And then he talked about like Pacquiao eating like dogs and cats or something like that. A couple of us in the media were kind of like, "Wait, did he just say that? Like for real?" Broner. Let's see some of the best trash talk. Oh, you know what, man? Tony Harrison is hilarious. Tony Harrison was hilarious. Like even some of the stuff he said, like when Tony Harrison was gonna fight Jermell, it like even Jermell said afterwards that he was laughing at some of that stuff because that was funny. Like Tony Harrison was just, when he talked about, like he said something about like that he was like, you know, Jermall like beat your ass as a kid. You actually saw Jermell start laughing because it was funny. It was just, you can't, you know. I don't know, man. If that's what's kind of weird about this game is like me, like I want to joke around about that stuff, but sometimes, you know, sometimes fighters don't take that stuff as too funny. But man, Tony Harrison, I'd probably say was one of the best ones though. That one stands out to me the most because I just remember laughing. Like it was just hilarious. He was hilarious. Pero mi falta de pero que tengo la pelea. Teofimo Lopez, 100%. Hopefully, man, we'll you know we'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see you guys at the watch party. Let's see. That is what sets the UFC apart. If guys are close in rankings and get into it online, the fight gets made. That's true, man. That's why UFC. You know, yeah, it pays to be a trash talker. Look at Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has the biggest boxing pay-per-view. Is part of the biggest boxing pay-per-view of all time because he can talk shit and he was funny. But not only that, obviously he backed it up. Like, you know, it's not only that, right? Like he obviously knocked out Aldo, you know, the legend in seconds. The, you know, two-weight world champion, like first concurrent one, or current, yeah. So, but I mean, it was him being able to talk trash that put him in a lot of positions. It's very true, very, very true. Mayorga always had good beefs. Yeah, he did. Mayorga was always real fun. The Vargas Mayorga fight was like fun leading up to it. I went to that one. I went to the Mosley versus Mayorga was a good one. The first one when it was on HBO, not like the crazy second one where like Mayorga like spanked like Mosley's girl's ass. I just saw that video recently because I had heard it, but I didn't really watch the video at the time. I think because Maris Santa Cruz was on like that same night, and I was more kind of paying attention to that. But yeah, like he just took a look and was like, whack. Yeah, that was he did it like kind of like waiting for a reaction. He was like, wow. I'm kind of like, whoa. You guys see that? You feel that? She was pissed too. And Mosley lunged at him too. That might have not been good for the promotion, because that promotion already had like some trouble just because it was on the same date as Leo Santa Cruz and Mares. Yeah, AB's hilarious, man. AB's fun. But I will say Tony Harrison and Jamal was just that's some of the funnier trash talk I've ever been around. Undisputed. Teofimo, all 4 belts. I saw Jamal at the jewelry store in downtown LA. Like I walked up to speak. You can see his eyes for a half second from go at all times. Man, he's Jermell is yeah, man. Don't sneak up on him. Don't sneak up on him. Definitely don't stay away from him for sure on weigh-in day. He is not messing with anybody on weigh-in day. Don't no, hell no. I remember I interviewed Jamal when he in his last fight at 154, and I said something about like Julian Williams saying something, and he like instantly got mad. And I was like, yo, it wasn't me. But he was. The Charlo brothers, I love the Charlo brothers. They're some intense dudes. Like you better be on your P's and Q's. But those guys, I mean, they're cool guys. They're hella cool guys. Like you just don't, you're either with them or you're not, and they know, they know if you're not. So yeah, like if you see Jermel, maybe say a Jermel first. Don't like tap him or something. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, he was beefing with his brother. But I think it's all brotherly love. They were all good. You could see how happy they were for each other the night of the fight. That was beautiful to see. Those guys those guys are real cool guys, man. I like the Charlo brothers. Hopefully hopefully Jamal gets Triple G or Triple G. Yeah, I want to see that fight. I want to see Jamal Triple G. That's a good ass fight. But you're right, man. He definitely is a half second from goal all the time. You stay ready. I hate when you see a great trash talking exchange, but you don't get the fight, like Charlo Jacobs. You ain't even touching ends yet. Yeah. Yeah, that fight, that's what I'm talking about. Like I'm telling you, I know Lopez and Ryan is gonna have a lot of trash talk, and that's gonna be dope. But like, are we gonna really see the fight though? You know what I mean? Like Tank Davis is talking crap about Lomachenko. Talk crap about everybody. But we haven't seen anybody he's talked trash to. We haven't seen those fights yet. I mean, even the Modest fight didn't happen when it was supposed to. That Jacobs and Charlo would be cool. That'd be a cool fight. I want to see Jamal versus Triple G though, man. Let's make it happen. Like, let's DAZN cash out Jamal to come to DAZN for a fight, or figure it out, man. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but figure it out because we want to see that fight. Either a snake or a lion. You're a lion or a snake. That's the truth, man. Yeah, that's the truth. Lions only. Realistically, do you think we'll ever see a Wilder fight again? Yeah, for sure. Wilder's gonna fight again, for sure. I don't know what happened with this whole Fury thing. I think I don't know whose fault it is. I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like it's anybody's fault. I think it just it's pandemic. That's what happened. It's pandemic because like there's no that gate was like 10 to 12 million. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of money. And it's it has to be pay-per-view. So right now it's hard to get people to especially with so many pay-per-views, there's Khabib, if you're a fight fan, right? So there's Khabib next week. There's the pay-per-view on Halloween with Tank and Leo. I can't think of November. I feel like I can't think of any fights in November for whatever reason, or not any I think Haney fights in November. I'm talking pay-per-views, but I don't. Other than I'm sure UFC's pay-per-view, whatever that is. I think Amanda's fighting on the pay-per-view in November. Or am I wrong? I could be wrong. It's a lot of money to have a lot of people shell out, and you're missing 10, 12 million from the gate. I don't know. But Wilder definitely fights again. He'll fight maybe like the Adam Kolinasko, the Polish dude. He'll fight one or two fights, and then he'll kind of be in the talks for Joshua Fury winner. I'm a little iffy if that's going to happen, but we'll see. Gana Teofimo Lopez in round 10. Wow, we got a lot of round 10 Teofimo Lopez. You're right, man. It is definitely Corona's fault, for sure. Brian Custer revealed that PBC have issued Wilder with a gag order. Oh, and it's completely unapproachable Miami. It seems very weird. Really? A gag order? What the heck? That's whack. That's whack. Does make sense why you haven't heard from him, but why wouldn't they want Wilder talking? That's very strange. Very strange. Well, yeah, I am hyped. I am hyped for tomorrow. We got a lot of fights coming up, so I'm hyped. I will be doing a watch party tomorrow. Let's see. I don't believe that the contract was made before the fight. Exactly. It explains the media silence. I don't know, but Wilder doesn't really talk to a whole. I mean, I don't know. That's weird. That's weird. I'd hope that isn't true. That doesn't really make sense. I don't feel like that. But Brian Custard said it, huh? Where did Brian Custard say that? Damn, 100% he's gonna win. Yeah, you bet. I hope you put some money on Lopez, Corman, because yeah, that if you're that confident, then you got the odds in your favor, man. Well, hey, everybody, I appreciate you guys all watching, all kicking it with me. We'll definitely do the watch party tomorrow, and I'll kick it together and just talk about what's going on, what's cracking, and everything. I'll start that at 4:30. And I'll have both fights going, so we can talk about both the UFC and boxing as it's going along. Let's see. Boxing needs to build somebody on free TV frequently. The way they built Tyson. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep. The way they're doing it with Kamzat. I can't. Kamzat. I could never. I don't know how to pronounce that dude's name. He went from well-known to a star in 2 months. You're right, bro. You're right. And I mean, credit to him. He's like hella violent. And it's very rare to see somebody come into the UFC and be that dominant against like UFC level fighters. Like, I don't care if you're like the lowest man on the totem pole in the UFC. UFC is a different level than like a lot of these regional shows, like regional promotions and some of these other places. Like UFC is the real deal. And so for you to like look that dominant right away, that's pretty incredible, man. He said that on the Boxing Boys 3 weeks ago. Wow, that's crazy, man. That's nuts. I didn't know that. Wow. That's unfortunate. I don't know why they're doing that. That's whack. That's whack. I can't say anything else. That's whack. We want to hear from the champ, the former champ. But yeah, I want to hear what Wilder has to say. That's whack. That's whack. Bye, everybody. I appreciate you guys watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Please thumbs up the video. Share if you want to share the channel with your friends and stuff. I mean, I believe Brian Custard said it, but I don't believe it's true. I see Fury talking all the time. He's just covering for Wilder. I don't know. But Fury's top rank, right? So, who knows? But all right, appreciate you guys all, and see you tomorrow.